Welcome to JWL Sports, where we review all the best sports clips from around the world. Now you're probably wondering, why should I watch over here instead of anywhere else? And that's because over there, they don't care about what you have to say. They say this all the time, they talk down to us, they think we're just a bunch of clowns on YouTube, Twitter. But I think it's the opposite. I think we know exactly what we're talking about. So I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get into some discussions, let's get into some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. So without further ado, let's get to it. We're watching a clip of First Take with Stephen A. and Damian Woody, and we're talking about the Jets and Aaron Rodgers, and, you know, where does the blame fall if the Jets do not succeed and they don't win the AFC East? To me, this is somewhat of an impossible question to answer ahead of time, because what if Aaron Rodgers absolutely balls out, and for whatever reason the defense is a disaster? We're going to blame Aaron Rodgers? What if Aaron Rodgers is playing great, but the offensive line is trash, and he's running for his life again? That's Aaron Rodgers' fault? What if Aaron Rodgers is playing terrible, and he just can't throw the ball anymore, and he just can't recover from his injury, and the defense is amazing, and everyone else is amazing? So we can't predict where the blame is going to be, because we don't know how the season is going to unfold. So I'm really curious to see how they unpack this. I feel it's going to be just a bunch of made-up nonsense, but let's take a listen, and we'll break it down further from there.
In the AFC East, will Rodgers be the reason?
Well, he'll definitely be a big part of it, but I'm not going to even go there. I'm going to address Chris Canty, what he had to say.
That's what I wanted to do, but I felt like I'd follow the rundown.
Listen, Chris Canty is brilliant. The man knows football. He's a champion. We all know the credentials that he brings in. He's factually what he's bringing up to make his point. He's not wrong. Chris Canty's not wrong. But here's the problem. First of all, we ain't talking about Aaron Rodgers, the leader. We talking about Aaron Rodgers, the player.
Hello.
He got injured 4 snaps into the season. It ain't like he was on the football field and we watched the Jets be the Jets last year. That was Zach Wilson at that quarterback spot. You want to blame Aaron Rodgers for something? Here's what you're blaming for. Why the hell is that damn Nathaniel Hackett in that building? That's what you're blaming for. Okay, the Randall Cobbs, not so. I mean, we know what credible.
Tim Boyle was there because of Aaron as a backup.
Tim Boyle is there because of that's what you blame Aaron Rodgers for. Understand that. Right. So you're going to ask the question, well, why would you be held hostage to Aaron Rodgers? Because they're the Jets. What the hell have you had to fall back on if you the New York Jets? For every year or two that you get to an AFC championship game, you spend a decade and a half being in purgatory. You have been a moribund franchise for so long, we forget half the time you're in Florham Park. And then when we're reminded of it, we're happy about it because we don't want you contaminating the borders of New York City. This is how bad the New York Jets have been for the better part of the last 5 decades. 1968 is the last time the New York Jets were in a Super Bowl. Think about that for a second here. Broadway Joe, to this very day, as in Joe Namath, is arguably still the most popular New York Jet ever until Aaron Rodgers arrived last season. That is how bad they have been. Excuse me?
Who was on the Jets roster the last time they went to the AFC Championship?
I don't even remember, okay? The point that I'm trying to make, is this. When you look at the New York Jets, all I'm saying to Chris Canty
Mark
is,
Sanchez.
You want to lament Aaron Rodgers and what it looked like in his last year in Green Bay? That's cool. You've done that before. Other people have done that before. Hell, I had to call him out once or twice about that. That's one thing. But we know he's a bad brother. This brother can ball. And if he were healthy, we know good and damn well the New York Jets would not have looked like that. So, in closing, if you're Canty, it comes down to this. It comes down to this. Aaron Rodgers on the field next year gets an opportunity to debunk all of that. Because I don't believe Chris Canty would have been able to say what he said if Aaron Rodgers was on the field this season.
Hold up.
And that is what's absurd to me. Because they're criticizing Aaron like it was his fault of how everything unfolded last season. He wasn't on the field, okay? He tore his Achilles. Kirk Cousins tore his Achilles. It happens. It sucks. It happens, okay? We know the Jets are going to be better. We absolutely know that they are going to be a better team provided that they stay healthy. Now, you can blame the Jets for building a team that is injury prone and older and that they can get injured. That's totally fine. And I think that's completely warranted. But the Jets right now are being judged based on a decision that we never really got to see the outcome with Aaron getting injured. We saw what they were able to do with Zach Wilson. Blame the Jets for not getting a viable backup quarterback because other teams were able to make moves. They had Joe Flacco, and they let go of Joe Flacco, and Joe Flacco was able to ball out and help, win games and get the Cleveland Browns into the playoffs. So blame them for that. But it's not on Aaron. And we know that with Zach Wilson, a terrible quarterback, I'm just sorry, he just is. He was able to get, 7 wins last season. We can all but guarantee Aaron Rodgers is worth an additional 3 wins or so. That would have put the Jets fighting for the second seed, fighting for the division. Okay? That's pretty darn good. And that's just assuming that only 3 wins. You could maybe even give more. But we know rookie quarterbacks who are drafted are typically good to increase the team by an additional 3 wins. So we damn know that a seasoned veteran, Hall of Famer, top tier, top level, one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game is worth more than 3 wins. At the minimum 3 wins. So I think as long as Aaron Rodgers makes a 100% recovery, which I believe he will, they are going to truly make moves. They are going to be a competitive team. They will be able to fight against the Dolphins. Sorry, I was talking to someone in the comment section who's a big Dolphins fan. I'm sorry. I think the Jets will have you. Even potentially the Bills. I'm not really sure what the Bills' plan is right now. And the Patriots, come on. I'm not even going to waste time on that one. So the Jets are going to be significantly better than people want. Everyone likes to just make the Jets into this laughing stock, and I get it, because they have been. But truthfully, a lot of teams have been. A lot of teams. The Panthers, the Browns, the Falcons, the Tampa Bay Bucks outside of Tom Brady. Congratulations, they were able to sneak into the playoffs this past season. The Giants, the Commanders. I mean, half the NFL is filled with clown shows. So singling out the Jets makes no sense to me. What have the Giants done? What have the Commanders done? What have the Panthers done? What have any of these teams done? They've done nothing. Truly nothing. So it's just, it doesn't really make sense that why the Jets get all this extra hate. And maybe it's because it's a New York team, and maybe because a lot of people don't like Aaron, which I do get. I'm actually not a big Aaron Rodgers fan. Like, I don't love Aaron Rodgers. I don't really think about Aaron Rodgers that much. But I find myself in a situation defending him because I do want, at the very least, whether I like someone or not, I still want to give them honest analysis, and formulate an honest, unbiased opinion around it. And that's why the last point that I want to make is the whole Randall Cobb to argue that these older players need to have someone on their side in the locker room in that regard. And he acts as a mouthpiece for Aaron. He's the one that Aaron sends the messages to him to tell the receivers, the offensive line, to say these things, to be harder so Aaron can be nicer, kind of the whole good cop, bad cop type thing. And it's worked very well for Aaron because, you know what? Coaches don't love Aaron Rodgers. The front office don't love Aaron Rodgers. A lot of fans don't love Aaron Rodgers. You know who does love Aaron Rodgers? The players. The players that play with him all love him. They all have positive things. Sure, you can find a couple people here and there. They all respect him. They all do. They all really want and enjoy to play with him. That's the reality. Now that he's no longer as great and as elite as he once was because he's older, it's a lot easier to, take shots at him, right? Everyone loves to take shots when someone is no longer as amazing as they once were. But listen, to think that Aaron is just going to drop off to like 60% Aaron, it's just not true. Even if he's just 85% of what he was, he still is good enough to lead the Jets to win the AFC East. That defense is legit. The offense needs a quarterback. That quarterback is Aaron Rodgers. Are we just forgetting that he is one of the best quarterbacks to ever play in the NFL? Because it would be comical to just count him out just because we don't like him. That doesn't make sense. But those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. Please let me know in the comments below. And please don't forget to subscribe. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of, and I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.